Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Welcome. Okay, can you hear me now? Very good. Forgot to put it in. Welcome, everyone. It's wonderful to be able to see you all. Those of you who have your cameras on, be sure that your microphone is off unless you want to speak with me. This is such a rare opportunity to be with you all in this way, especially at these times, huh? This is a great gift to us. By being able to connect with one another in this way, we're able to keep reminding ourselves that even in these difficult times, our community and those of us that get together in this way, we're forming a circle all around the planet to remind one another that even in these challenging times, our lives are about truth and open-heartedness and compassion for ourselves and for the whole planet. So we're grateful for this opportunity and grateful to all the people that make it possible for us to be together. Even as we stay at a distance. For those of us that have chosen this way of life, this way of being in the world, we walk this line between being open to the world, to being part of the world, to knowing what's happening, and being able to shut that off, not to avoid it, but rather to go more deeply into the cave of the heart. It's from this place of self-awareness that we're able to radiate the love and the peace and the calm that's so necessary during difficult times. This has always been the task, you could say, or the way of spiritual communities. During difficult times, spiritual communities throughout history have always kept quiet while not abandoning the world, always recognizing that the work that you do, moment by moment, day in and day out, to realize the self, the heart of being, to know yourself. This is the great blessing for the world. So while we may need to be engaged, and if we have the opportunity to help friends, family, neighbors, we do that without an expectation or for gain or profit. We do that out of love and compassion, if we're called on to do that. But if, like many of us are now, we're called to remain separate and apart, then we have this skill that many people don't have. This skill to fall into the cave of the heart, to remain quiet, peaceful, calm, to radiate truth and love. This is our task. During this time, the best thing you can do is to take care of yourself. To be present on the phone, on Zoom, in any way that you can, to give comfort to friends and family and satsang, while always remembering, I am the self. That this love and compassion that you feel is the natural state of being, and it's here for all. So by remaining as the heart during these challenging times, you're creating the space for other people who may be not able to hold this space as well or as easily as you are, to feel the blessing of your presence, even if it's online or by phone. And then when there's no one, to just quietly, gently drop into the heart of being, into the cave of your own heart, and to remain there, still and aware, and understanding that you don't do this for yourself, you do this for all. There are benefits for you in terms of remaining calm and peaceful and so on in the midst of a crisis or a challenging situation. There are definitely benefits that you feel, the fruits of your practice. But be clear that whatever you do during this time, you do out of love and compassion for all beings, at all times, in all places. And by doing so, you provide the support, not only for yourself, but for those who are really struggling in darkness. And at the end of these difficult times, you will be there still, self-radiant, and able to step back out into the world as being, consciousness, and bliss. So take advantage of this time. Be still, be calm, be peaceful. Take care of yourself, your body, your mind, and do this for the sake of all beings. So that even though you may feel somewhat separate, maybe even alone, you recognize that you are with everyone. That you are supporting the world. Be a source of grace and kindness. During these difficult times, it can be hard to remember that our task is to accept what is. All of this, as Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar would say, is the work of the Father. We have no way of knowing what the ultimate outcomes of all of this will be. But the one thing we can be sure of is that if we remain in the recognition that all of this is that, all of this is consciousness itself, the dance, the play, the lila. If we can remember this, we can remain peaceful, calm, aware. This is our gift to the world. We can leave the rest alone. The outcomes belong to the divine. They belong to God. Our business is to take care of now, to be here, in love and compassion, ready to do whatever comes our way. Or to do nothing. So, how are you all faring now? It's been over a week now that we've all been asked to self quarantine and so on. And some of you I know have a lot of experience going on retreat and so on, staying home, doing your practice in a solitary way. But I also know that others of you are not so familiar with this, that you mostly rely on being in the group setting, a little bit less maybe familiar with staying home alone. How are you faring? How are things going for you? Okay, everyone's good. Very happy. Hello.
Hello. I'm a bit nervous.
Hello.
Hello. My question was, ever since I'm in quarantine, I've also been sick. My mind sees it as a holiday, also holiday from spiritual practice. It's been seen, but
So
still.
I'm getting video, your audio.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you. It's still not staying in all the time. It's going in and out. So
Okay.
yeah, just go ahead. We'll see what happens.
The rest would turn off the video. Maybe it's better.
Try that.
Is it better now? Not or not?
It's a little better now. So go ahead.
Okay, try. My question was.
Yes.
Yes, my question was or is, since I'm in quarantine and at home, my mind seems to take a holiday also from spiritual practice. Is distracting me even more now. I have more chance to go inside.
Yes.
Do you have any advice?
So this isn't happening in a vacuum, right? There is a moment in which you remember or you notice that the mind has become distracted or lazy. Isn't this true?
Yes.
So this is really the only moment that you can grab hold of the inquiry is as you notice that you're just slipping into kind of a sleepy state or a torpor, or you're just going over the same old dialogue in your mind over and over, or that you have a really strong desire to watch television. You know, this can happen. And this is the main reason why people like to go on retreat, is because there is some structure if we go on retreat, and so it becomes easier for us to stay with the timing, stay with program, stay with the instruction. And we realize almost as soon as we have a weekend with nothing planned and we're at home, that this sort of thing happens where we recognize that we have the opportunity to inquire or to keep quiet, but we find ourselves really not focused on that. Um, but it really isn't helpful for us to tell ourselves that somehow we're not getting it right. This is not really helpful. So the suggestion I have for you is just to notice when you notice.
Okay.
Do you understand that? Notice when you
Yes.
notice.
Yes.
If you notice, oh, I have just noticed, oh, I am kind of in a sleepy state, or I'm in a torpid state, or I'm in uh, I'm not really focusing on my spiritual uh, practice or the inquiry. As soon as you notice that, it's important for you to recognize, in this moment I am aware. Few moments ago, not so much. But in this moment, I am aware. Very good, very good. Now I am back.
Okay.
And you just do this over and over. And what you're doing by undertaking this kind of practice is that you're strengthening your ability to first notice the difference between the times when you are fully aware and times when you are distracted by something else. And strengthen times when you are aware, because as soon as you come back to the recognition, I'm aware that I am aware, you add strength to that position. And over time, it occurs to you that you don't even need to think, I am aware that I am aware. You simply are aware.
Okay.
So it doesn't do good for you to notice that you have been distracted in some way and then become self-critical about that. It only helps for you to notice that you've been distracted, and now you notice, I'm back. I am here. I am now. I am no longer in the past. I am not projecting into the future. I'm also not asleep. I am here. I am here now. It's in this way that you strengthen this capacity, this ability to just remain as you are. Remember, the goal is not to become more and more able to put forth a mighty effort. If there's a goal here in the inquiry, it's just to recognize throughout all the moments of our day, not with the mind, but just through the direct perception, I am aware. It's to strengthen our ability to know that in every given moment, I am here, I am now, and I know it. This is the primary practice.
Okay, thank you.
And you can notice that right now, Laura. You are here now. If I ask you, are you here? What's your answer?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, absolutely. Yes, you know immediately. This is beyond the mind. This is not me saying to you, asking this mental question, are you aware? And you then sort through some set of experiences that are currently present and then deciding that you are aware. When I ask you the question, are you aware? You say immediately yes. It's like the mind does not need to be an intermediary in this. There's just the simple recognition in this moment, I am here. I am now. And then when we have that full understanding in that moment completely, what happens is we come to rest. And we just rest in this moment, here, now, with that recognition until something arises. But as soon as something else arises, maybe it's from the past, maybe it's the future, maybe it's a sensation in the body, makes no difference. We're simply noticing, resting, noticing, resting. We just continue like this. Eventually, we don't need the mind anymore to do this. We simply are that which is aware. No mental intermediary. So just keep it up.
Okay, thank you very much.
I can't tell if you're still there. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes,
we'll
I am.
just move on. Michael,
Oh, but you can move on. Thank you very much.
So I think I lost you again, Laura. So Michael, are you still there?
Yes, I am. I try my
Let's
place.
try your microphone.
Can you hear me?
I can. It's the same situation though. I really want everyone to know that I think this is a Skype, a Zoom issue. So
Okay, I switch off my video. Is it better then?
it doesn't really seem to make much difference.
No. Okay, then I leave it on. My situation is that I'm not in quarantine, but I stayed at home and I decided to start a new job tomorrow, to go out, to come out of the house. And I will be postman. I will deliver post letters and so. And so I have the opportunity to go out.
Yes.
Well, I think on the one hand, I'm not so much with me then, because I go out and maybe I lose the opportunity to be very intensively inside. But on the other hand, I think it can be a good opportunity to be aware in the world, to be in to use it practically, what I've learned, and to deliver not only the letters to the people, but also good thoughts and good energy, love and compassion. So I'm positive deliverer for the world. That's my thoughts.
Yes, this is all very nice. But I want to ask you this question. Are there two selves?
No.
Is there one that can stay in and one that goes out?
No.
No, there is not one that stays in and one that's out. There is only one self.
Yes.
Stay with this one. And the question then arises, but how do I stay with this one as I go out? Because all of the distractions, all of the objects, if you will, not even to put a label on them as distractions, but all the objects seem to intensify when we go out. There are many more objects to demand our attention. But our task is not significantly different. Many of you have already noticed just through this period of quarantine and trying to keep quiet that whether you have a lot of objects in front of you physically or not, whether the world's there or not, there are a lot of objects in the mind. And so you can be sitting at home very quietly and still having object after object after object after object going by. Yeah. This is not different than stepping outside and having object after object after object going by. Just the apparent location of them is different. One appears to be out there, the other appears to be in here. But the self is not two, it is only one. The self is that which is aware, whether you are sitting quietly and the objects are going through the mind, or no objects are going through the mind. The one which is observing is the same. The one which knows is the same. There are not two selves. Likewise, when you get ready to do your job, there are not two selves. There is only one. So you go about your task in order to stay as the one self. Don't take responsibility for whatever you are doing. Just allow the body the freedom to do what is there to do.
Yes.
Just allow it to happen with the recognition, I am that which is aware of this.
Mm-hmm.
This activity that the bodies engage in, the right attitude toward this is not personal also. It is just happening. Spontaneous. This is life itself. This is dancing in this way. The self that knows this is not different from the self that knows it is sitting quietly in the bedroom. This self is one. So keep this forefront in your mind, whether you're sitting still or you're walking around the neighborhood. If you do this, then you don't even need to have an intention around it. The compassion, the kindness, the presence, which is naturally there and is manifesting and showing itself in the world as this body mind that we call Michael, will simply be there on its own. There's nothing you need to do, right? This you that you talk about that is going to intend to spread light and love, this is all beautiful. I'm not telling you that this thought won't arise, and don't do that. But I'm simply saying that if you are the self, if you remain in the recognition, I am that which is aware, let the activity go on its own, and everyone will understand that kindness has just delivered the mail.
Very beautiful. Yes.
So keep this thought, there is only one self at all times, under all kinds of conditions. This remembrance, there is only one self, and I am that.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, I hear you.
Hi. It's the first time I meet you, so I'm Pooja. So I wanted to bring what I've been looking into, especially today in these 2 days.
Okay.
It's right now, like once I put the mic on, it kind of disappeared a bit, but it was a lot of pressure and pain in my body, which comes in this time of the month, like it comes strongly. And usually I don't have anything, like I have a good body and I haven't given much attention to it. It's like I'm avoiding touching it. And usually I don't feel much. When it comes to today, it's like a whole tension and headache. And then, what has been good is like that I'm looking at I'm accepting it or making use of it instead of like treating it immediately and trying to stretch the body and make the best for it to go away, you know?
Yes.
And what I've seen is like it can be good for heightening the awareness. I can either go into what I haven't done. It's like to feel the pain and go into some kind of memory or register it, something that has been registered or whatever. Why does this kind of pain always come up? The same qualities and so on. Or I can just watch it and don't engage so much in this kind of thought and just and then it also disappears and the awareness is just there, and then for a while, and then it may come again in the same way.
Yes. And throughout all of this, who is the watcher? You see the same one who is aware that the pain is here is the same one who is also aware when the pain is gone. In either case, it's possible to ask yourself, who is aware here, now? This is called
Now it cut a bit.
return.
The connection.
You have to say again, please.
It just cut a bit the connection for a second or two.
Yeah.
I heard that you said return. Yeah.
So if you notice whether pain is present or the pain has subsided, then you can ask yourself, what is aware of this? By asking this question, you're able to use whatever is present in this moment to return to the source. So we can ask ourselves under all circumstances, who is it that's aware of pain? Who is it that is aware of silence? Who is it that knew pain was here before and knows that pain is not here now? This is the inquiry, who am I? This is also the same inquiry, what is aware of this? Ramana used to say, who is thinking? The natural response is, I am thinking. Then who am I? We can use this inquiry with all sorts of different experiences, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. What we're doing, we do this, is we are withdrawing attention from the objects in the world and from the notion, I am the body, and we are returning to the source, to the recognition that something remains here, observing the pain, observing the pleasure, observing the nothing, and that this something is untouched. And by resting in this recognition, I am that which is aware, we allow natural phenomenon of pleasure or pain or discomfort to have the period of time it needs to be there and then to go away, as all phenomenon eventually do. Having said this, it does not mean that we simply sit and suffer if we have an alternative, like we can take an aspirin or something like this. There's not a requirement. We don't need to be in pain to awaken. We are already awake in the recognition, I am that which is aware of this. So if we need to take something, we need to do something, we need to do some stretches, we need to somehow care for the body, by all means do that. Like I said, there's no prerequisite in awakening to suffer. There is enough of that just in the fact that we have a body. So suffering is a part of the deal, but it's not the only part of the deal. The other part of the deal is that we have awareness itself. So it's in the state of the body-mind that we have both the capacity to suffer and the capacity to liberate from that suffering through the recognition, I am that which is aware of this. What is aware? Who am I? To keep coming back to this moment, and then through the inquiry to go before all experience, to discover what is already there, and with that which is free from all that is coming and going, not bound by it, free from all experience. This does not mean that experience won't come and go, that pleasure won't come and go, that pain won't come and go, that boredom won't come and go, that the experience of emptiness or nothing might not come and go. does not mean that experience stops. What you are doing in accepting the situation, which is what you said earlier, Pooja, what you are doing is allowing what is to be without resistance. This action, this activity, will eventually lead you back to the source. Why? Because you are curbing reactivity to the phenomenon, to the outward object. You're not letting yourself take the bait of believing I am the body. You can say in a certain way that pain is the bait that wants us to believe that we are this pain. This is just a manifestation of the whole idea, the whole concept, the whole belief. I am the body. The body is only a portion, a small part actually, of who and what you are. By asking this question, by moving into acceptance, by asking this question, what does aware hear? We continue the journey back toward the source. The source is utterly free and unmoved by what is appearing in body, mind, or world, in past, present, or future. You are that which is aware. Stay here. When we are dealing with the pain body, one of the things that does happen is that when the pain goes away and we move into this more open and peaceful place, we tend to want to cling to that as a defense against the pain returning. So the thing I want to caution you against is doing just that. Do notice, remember, remind yourself that all phenomenon, painful, pleasurable, neutral, they are all just coming and going. So while it is beautiful to be away from the pain, as you now know, also don't cling in that state. Simply remember, I am that which is aware, and keep coming back to that awareness. This is the way to transcend both sides of the duality of pleasure and pain. Very good, Pooja.
Thank you.
Can I ask something?
Yes, who am I talking to?
Yes, I'm Gita. Namaste. It's the first time that I meet you, and
Yes, namaste.
thank you. It just came to me that whatever comes, as you were saying, I can see. Therefore, I'm before that. Therefore, I'm here. This is clear.
Yes.
What came to me for having this opportunity to ask is that I could see that in my mind there was still an idea of what freedom could be or looks like. And this is seen from freedom itself because I see this idea passing through me like a cloud.
Very
And
good.
I had some experiences in the body and in the feelings and all these things, but it is seen as though it feels like it is really strong. I can see it. I just felt to speak it out that something inside me, something inside me sometimes visits me, and it is a thought that says like this: does a master, does a realized being also visited by different things from time to time? And therefore, freedom doesn't mean to be not experiencing anything, but to just allow every experience to take place. And we are just here for whatever it may come, for more strange it can seem.
Yes.
Thank
Yes, you see, if there is a pool in the forest, which is very still and quiet, does not mean that no animals will come there to drink.
you. Mhm.
Even in the stillness and quiet of eternal being, the animals of experience will pass by. No problem.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, my friends. Very happy to see you all, to spend this time with you. Remembering that there is only grace, that all of this is that. Rest as awareness itself. You are that. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urva Rukamiva Vandinan Mrityor Mukshya Mamritawa Svaha Bhuva Bhu Om Sat Jung Hang Om. Keep sharing your peace, your light, your being, your presence in your towns, cities, and the countries that you live in. You are that which is aware. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.